Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back. This is season 2. This is episode 2 of the Connected Sound podcast. This is DJ Rello. I'm here today with my guy, Sam McGrath. Sam, what's good with you, my guy?
What's good? What's good?
Man, not too much, man. Not too much. You know, staying busy. I'm glad to finally get you here and get you to the studio and get you on the podcast. You're someone that I've been wanting to get on. Sam now lives in LA via Boston. If you don't know Sam, you should probably get to know Sam. He is a very talented videographer, photographer, as well. And I just wanted to tell a little bit about your story, Sam. I wanted to tell people how we met and how we came to know each other. I know Sam from going on tour and being on tour with Skies. I met Sam, I think we met in Boston at the Boston show. You was at the Uzi show, I think.
Yeah, I was at the mall.
Yeah, you was at the Uzi. He was at the Uzi show, one of our first tours that we went on. But I came to know Sam because I would see him at the shows. I would see him at the meet and greets, and I'm like, this dude is really showing out. He's really like. He's a big fan, but every time I seen him, he was never empty-handed. Sam always had some merch. He had something for somebody to sign or something to give, not just Skies, but all of us. I know you gave me plenty of merch and just anything. You've given me that. You've given Skies that. You've given the whole camp that, and it really helped you to be able to get around all of us. And like show like what you're really about, and show like, yo, I'm not just a fan. Like I'm somebody that can be put to work, and like I'm going to produce like some good stuff for you. I just wanted to know like your thought process back then when you were coming to shows as a fan, and like were you just thinking, yo, can I get this merch to these guys? Were you thinking like, I want to work with these guys? Like, what was your thoughts like back then when you was just showing up to shows and just giving us merch?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, I see like everything as an opportunity, and especially, you know, I try to always, you know, meet people and, you know, also like open many doors, you know, wherever, every time I meet someone, you know, how can I, you know, provide something for their team or what they need at that certain time or in the future, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's what, you know, definitely my thought process going through everything is like, how can I involve myself in this certain situation or in future situations as well?
For sure. You gotta make yourself useful is one big thing that I'm always harping on myself. Guys that work at the studio, just people that I'm involved with that are trying to make a name for themselves in this industry and get to the next level. I'm like, man, you got to make yourself useful. Just because you are a producer doesn't mean that the only way you can get in contact with somebody is being a producer. If you also are an engineer, let people know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They might not want a beat, but might want a studio session, or they might not want a studio session, but they need beats.
Yeah, definitely.
So you got to make yourself useful, and you did a very, very good job of that. You, like I said, you never came empty-handed, but you always offered yourself as far as your services. Like, what can I do for y'all? Can I do a flyer? Can I do a logo for one of y'all? Can I do a single cover? Can I do some cover art, whatever have you? We were able to call on you to be able to do a lot of that stuff for us early on. Was you thinking like, okay, let me show them that I can do this stuff? Was that your thing? Was you thinking like, yo, this is how I'm gonna get in with them?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, I want to, you know, provide value to however I could. So, you know, if y'all needed a flyer, you hit me, I'll do a flyer, cover arts, whatever, logos, anything. Thanks. And so that's, you know, kind of like my thought process to kind of get out there. You know, when I was giving y'all merch, you know, I providing y'all clothes, you know, I promoted my brand, but also just promoting myself that like, you know, I could do clothing, I can do videos, I could do anything, you know, and just as well as like, you know, if you need me to learn anything else, I'll do it, you know, however I can get in the door, I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, like I said, you did a very good job of that, man. And your story is one that I tell a lot of my guys. There'll be a lot of times we'll just be in the studio and we'll just be talking about stuff, and I'll pull up a vlog or something. I'm like, yo, this is my homie Sam. He from Boston, but he lives out in LA now. They're like, oh, for real? What? He moved out to LA? Yeah. He moved out to LA, yeah. And they thinking like you just made this crazy move, and it's like, nah, man, this dude like had that shit, like he had it thought out, he had it planned out. You told me like, yeah, I'm thinking about moving out there, I'm thinking about doing this, and you did it. And I can really respect that from you, because you wanted something, you wanted a certain way of life, and you went for it and you made it happen. And a lot of people sometimes are afraid to like put themselves out there to show what they really got, to be turned down. You was not afraid to be said no. And you can't be afraid to get a no, especially in this industry, because the people might give you 2 no's to get to a yes.
100%.
You just never know. You just have 100%. to keep pushing and keep getting where you want to go. Like now when you moved out to LA, when you moved out with the Cufboys, Landon and all those guys. Was that like a part of the initial plan, or were you like trying to get out there on your own and it didn't happen, so you moved in with them, or what was like the actual plan with that, with your move from Boston to LA?
So basically, obviously before I moved to LA, I was good friends with Johnny. We did like a collab. I did a pop-up at Rage at Ransom. It's actually funny, the way I met Johnny was like I was just like, a fan of y'all, you and Skies and everyone. I was a fan of the Cufboys. That's like that's how I found Skies. That's how I found a lot of artists, and a lot of my favorite artists I listen to this day was from the Cufboys. I would watch the vlogs and all that, and I actually, the way I met Johnny was, I was trying to send him clothes and stuff as well, because I really liked his brand. That was like, Ransom was all that was in my closet. Ransom, Narcotic, Half Evil, all of that. And so I designed a little poster, like a little poster idea for Rage at Ransom, because I know Johnny was like, I think he put on his story at the time, it was like Rage at Ransom, with the date and like the artist. So I was like, bet, I'm gonna make a flyer. And then they end up using it for like one of like the backstage passes. And then he ended up like hitting me. He like, I think he sent me his number and we FaceTimed. And I was like, yo, I want to go to the event. He's like, yo, have a pop up with your brand there. And ever since from then, me and Johnny been hella cool, hella tight. And then I think it was like around like, so basically I graduated high school like 2019, and class of 2019, and I didn't apply like any colleges. I knew like whatever I'm gonna do, I don't know what it's gonna be, if I'm gonna do clothing, graphic design, videos, whatever, but I'm gonna make it happen. I might do it all, I might do one thing, but I'm gonna do whatever I can, because I don't want to work a 9 to 5, and I don't want to go to college.
How do your people feel about you not applying to any colleges? It's one thing to like now you didn't even apply. How they feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, well, basically, like I was like, all right, like I'm gonna take a gap year. That was kind of what I told them. I'm gonna take a gap year. Kind of figure it out. If it doesn't work out, I'll go to school or whatever, because. Or something like that, go to like a graphic design school, because throughout high school too, like I was going to shows and festivals, traveling to like, the Lollapaloozas, the Rolling Louds, all that, just to meet people. Like you said, I'll go travel across the country just to shake a hand and say what's up and introduce myself. So that's what I was doing throughout high school. And then in the summer during high school, when, my friends were partying and, going to grad parties, I was going to these little graphic design camps. So like I already had college credits too. I was just doing them in high school at this school. So like, if this didn't work out, I would just go to that school and maybe find a corporate job, like doing graphic design somewhere, but I didn't want to do that. So I was like, I'm gonna make this work. So when I graduated, when everyone was going to school and all that, like in the fall time, I was going to shows. I think I shot like an Annalie Choppa show. I know Skies did one at the Thought Lot that you put together. I went to that, and then like Landon did a show, and then like Iann and Landon had a show, and then kind of leading up to LA, I was just shooting shows, and that was like really the first time I was holding the camera really, and like getting to know the camera. I was just going to shows, just practicing, and then shooting a few videos here and there. And then I think it was like March, like Johnny hit me up, and he was like, yo, we're thinking about getting like a Cufboys house. We think you'll be a really good fit, because you do a little bit of everything. You do clothing, you do videos, like you could provide a lot to us here at the house. Are you interested in moving in? And before thinking about how I was gonna make a living out there, and before I was thinking of how I'm gonna even like get out there, like if I need a car, I need a job, whatever, I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then like I waited like a week after till I like told Johnny like, yes, I'm down, to tell my parents. And then because I didn't think they were gonna say yes, or I should do it. And they were like, yeah, you should, like, we know, like, like you've been doing a lot of the clothing stuff and the video stuff, and you look up to these people, like it could be a good opportunity. Like they were like into it, and I was like really surprised that they were gonna say yes. And I was like, all right, bet. So then leading up to moving to LA, I just like really started like shooting music videos because I only had, I think, like one music video I shot.
Yeah.
Since like, or maybe two before I moved to LA. Like I literally had 2 music videos. Literally, like I think my first video was like 2 years today.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like looking at my memories on Snapchat. Like it was like 2 years from today, and so I was just shooting videos and then going to shoots with Xandros in Boston because I was talking to him and stuff because he was he went on tour with Skies, Landon, all of them. I definitely looked up at his work as well as Nick's and a bunch of other videographers. But I would just go to his shoots and just shoot behind the scenes for him and just seeing how he does it. Shoots, because I didn't know how to shoot a video. I would, it's a lot more than just picking up a camera and shooting. You got to have an idea, a shot list, maybe a little bit of a concept,
Yes.
Some videos are more thought out than others, Some are just you pull up and shoot. But so I would just go into his shoots doing behind the scenes. And then Johnny was like, move to LA. So then I moved to LA and then, I was like, all right, I need to shoot music videos for a little bit to make some money and make rent, whatever.
Right.
So that's what I was doing. And then
how much was you charging for a music video?
Probably like back then, maybe like anywhere from like 200 to 500. Honestly, all right, then it was just really to build my catalog. So whatever someone would give me, if they would just book me a flight, I'll go out there. Like I shot a few with Bernard early on. Yeah, that was someone I definitely locked in with early on, and still to this day, I'd be shooting a lot of videos with him. That's the thing too, is like I like to, I shoot with a lot, I shoot a lot of videos with like certain artists, and I'll shoot like all their videos type things. I like building and growing with like artists I really like listen to their music and lock in with.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think for me, it's a lot cooler to have like 10 videos with like a few different artists, like basically have their whole catalog than doing like one like really crazy video. Like I would love to like see the progression with the artists, and build with them.
Yeah, I like that. I like when artists do that. I just feel like a lot of artists now they sometimes they forget to like put that content out.
Yeah, like because as far as also just shooting, like I work with Tux, Bernard, Landon, you name it, all those people I lock in with Ian. It's like I like shooting all their stuff. So it's like it's more than just the videos. It's like the day-to-day stuff. It's the vlogs, just the fun stuff where we're just chilling at the house.
People don't get to see. People like that type of people like that stuff just as much as they like a music video.
Exactly.
Just as much as they like a music video for sure.
Yeah.
Like I want to know the difference in. And the same thing happened to me. I went from being at all the festivals, all the shows, in the crowd, to being at all the shows and being a worker and being talent. Like, what do you like about both sides? And what's the difference between like being a fan and being like working talent now?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, definitely like like. From difference from like being a fan and then like talent, it's like now it's like your everyday job, where before you'd be spending working and spend your paycheck just to see the people, and now you get to just go to do that and get paid for it.
Right.
Like
it's crazy.
It's crazy. Like I'd be
for sure.
I went to like Lollapalooza like a few years ago to like literally shooting on one of the bigger stages with an artist, with Ian now. Yeah. So it's definitely like, definitely like a dream come true, and also it's work, but it's like it really isn't work, It's like, I love getting the calls like saying we gotta hop on a flight to go to Chicago to go shoot a festival, or like we got tour, because I love traveling too, and just seeing different parts of the world, and just to be able to do that, as a job now, it's like
it's crazy, right? It's crazy, just like you said with Lollapalooza, like just saying Lollapalooza, it was like, okay, that's somewhere where I want to go, and then it's like, wait a minute, I get to perform there, and it's like Lollapalooza for me is always gonna be memorable. You gave me and Skies like custom jerseys that you was like in the front. And we sang happy birthday. It was Skies' 21st birthday. We sang happy birthday. I set it up. We sang Skies' happy birthday in front of like 60, 70,000 people. It was a lot of people, man. It was just like a sea. I'm like looking as far as I possibly can, and it was just like, where does this end? Where do these people end? It's so many people, but it was just crazy to be like, I'm on stage in front of all these people singing happy birthday.
Even the Rolling Louds too, like so many, just be able to see all the people coming for those artists is like crazy.
It turns the whole city up. That's what these people don't understand. Yeah. Like people are coming in from all type of cities, and they're coming just for these artists, and they're coming just to turn up for a weekend. It brings the city money. I'm glad, so glad that festivals are back. Yeah. Just to be able to go to them. And then, like I said, it just is even crazier that we get to actually perform and be on stage. It's like,
Yeah, it's like
it's nuts. Like,
it almost like doesn't seem like it could be real for some people, but like you know, it's like if you work, you know, you'll get there. You know, because I feel like some people think it's like so far out of reach when it really it's really
believe
not.
me, you will be surprised whenever it happens for you to when you get where you want to get, how regular it becomes.
Literally, like it's crazy.
It happens so fast. Like you would think, like, yo, y'all going to all these shows. Let you hit a couple shows in a short amount of span, and then maybe fly or take like a tour bus or something to these places. You're gonna be like, I'm a pro.
Yeah,
I know what I'm doing. They can nobody tell. I know what I'm doing now. It's like it becomes so regular, and it's like it's not even the fact you don't get geeked up. Like I still get very excited to do this stuff.
Hell yeah.
But it's like I'm more excited leading up to the event than I actually am on the stage.
Yeah.
Because it gets to the point where it's like, I got a job to do on stage.
Yeah.
And it's like, I really could screw the show up. Like I really could as a DJ if I'm not on point. So it's like, once I get on stage, it's like, okay, it's time to work. Like it's time to lock in. But I don't really get too nervous and stuff like that. But like I said, once you go on tour, it gets to become very, very regular, very fast. I don't want to say regular. It becomes normal. Like you start doing stuff that wasn't like way far out to you before, and now you start doing it, and it's like, wait a minute, like this is my life. Yeah. Like this is what I am. This is what I do now. Like this is crazy. Like I'm just walking. I don't remember the last time I walked into the front of a venue.
Yeah, really.
I'm trying to think of one where, like, when did I walk through the front door? It's been so long. And just even something like that is so small, but it just gives you, like, that confidence, like, yo, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
And it makes you appreciate, like, the hustle and grind leading up to, like, man, like, I was waiting hours for these shows just to make sure I'm in the front, you know, or I drive so far to go to a show. That makes you appreciate all like the times before. Because honestly, it's like, you know, now it's like I definitely would love to start, you know, just going to shows again, just as a fan, just to see it. That's why I love festivals too. Because after, you know, like, you know, whatever artist I'm with that day or whatever at like a festival performing, I'll go watch like, you know, someone else in the crowd just to feel that again. You know.
Yep, same here. I always all the events. I always try to make my way out to the crowd.
Exactly.
Just to feel it, just to be around people, and just to be like, okay, cool, this is dope. I want to see what it feels like out here. And it always, you go out there and you're like, okay,
good. Like
it always feels good because it's like in the back, it's like kind of like it's not tense like backstage, but it's kind of like, okay, like I gotta kind of, you know what I mean? I gotta be on point. Like I gotta do what I need to do. But it's like you go out there and it's like I'm just out here just listening to music. Like
and now it's just like it's
partying.
almost like also like stress free too.
Exactly.
It's just such a good feeling.
Literally just walking past that gate and those two security guards out into the crowd. It's like, all right, I miss this. I miss just being around random people that I don't know.
Yeah.
But going and like almost being forced to meet people. That's one thing that tour has really taught me. Like you gotta like really meet people. You gotta link up with people. Because there's a lot of people on tour. Some of them look like they're somebody. Some people you would never know, but they're somebody. And it's like you gotta shake hands and say what's up and good morning to all those people, especially when you're on tour. You know what I'm saying? I love tour. Tour was crazy. Well, how was Iann on tour?
Yeah, it was dope. I went on the tour with Trippie Redd, Sofago, and Iann. It was a fun tour. We hit a bunch of cities, and it was.
How was
cool.
Trippie? Did you get to like interact with Trippie at all? Like after the show?
Yeah, we interacted a few times. You know, him and Iann will link up, and we'll be just chilling like the green rooms, whatever. He was cool. I really fucked with Sofago too, because it was also cool because that's like his first tour, so it's just even cool to be like on that, you know, tour with him because he's about to go up. You know, he signed to Travis, but it's just cool to see him, you know, grow because that was like some of his first like ever shows.
Was there anybody wilding out? Like anybody crazy that was on tour?
I mean,
crazy acting.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, Trippie's whole camp be turning up, so definitely someone.
Shout out to Trippie Redd and his camp, man. Those guys are cool, man. I figured they would. That Skies ain't too much of a. He don't really turn up too much. He's not really that type dude.
Yeah.
His turning up is like like putting his feet up, smoking a J, and watching like some Netflix.
Yeah, watching Netflix, probably playing video games.
Yeah, just like relaxing.
Yeah,
and
that's
kind
of like how Ian is too. Like he's just he's chill. He'll throw on like 2K on the the tour bus TVs and all that.
Man, when we was on tour with like Wiz, he was chill, but when we went on tour with Pump was wild. Bro.
Oh yeah, Pump. I definitely believe that. Yeah,
shout out Desto, man. Yeah. Desto. It was some wild boys on tour, man. I'm just leave it at that. They was wild. They was doing a lot of different stuff, man. That bus was different, man. That bus was way different. We cooked up in the studio a lot on tour. Would you say y'all like cooked up in the studio? I know you got a lot of like footage, like studio footage. I would say. We've been in the studio before, and you've recorded. Like, would you say you like doing that as well? Like recording in a studio, like when someone's recording music, not like a studio.
No, yeah,
video
definitely. It's also funny too because I feel like now when I'm like surrounded by all these artists that I used to listen to, it also makes me listen to the music differently. Like, from like also a fan perspective, but also like outside, like, all right, how could this, go crazy on like, hit the charts or the radios? Like, how do you think like social media react to this? And also just, because when you're in the studio and, how the fans listen to it, like they don't even realize all the different other versions, even like Place at My Funeral didn't even have drums on the beginning, and they added that like a week and a half or 2 weeks before, the shoot. So it's like, definitely it makes you, listen to music differently. I feel like, especially in you're a producer, and all that, so you already know. So it's definitely,
you can see the time that's put in. It's like a 2-minute song. It's like it might have been in there for hours. Yeah, you just never know. Like in terms of everything, recording it, mixing it, mastering it. Like,
and even all the different mixes.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
Like, there's like, Landon's got a few songs, like he got a really fire one with No Cap, and there's like
that song is fire.
Yeah, that song is fire.
Shout out to Landon and No Cap. Yeah. Yo, that song is fire. You need to shoot that video.
I know, we got it. We gotta get No Cap out in LA, shoot the video and drop that for
sure.
Yeah,
that's a fire song, man. You let me listen to that. We bumped it to really, really loud notch, and it's like, this is a good ass song.
That one gonna go crazy.
This is good. I just see a video for it right now. That song needs a video because it's
gonna.
I just see it. That might go kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna hold you.
Definitely.
Shout out, like I said, shout out to Landon, shout out to No Cap. Y'all got one with that one. That one's gonna be a pretty big song for them.
It's crazy too because that song was rearranged like 3 different times, and Landon re-recorded it like twice. Yeah, and
it be like that sometimes. Yeah, that's how it's crazy.
Because if you listen to like the version that when he first got it back from No Cap, like it's way different. Like they turned like part of No Cap's like end of his verse into a hook now, and then Landon put a background on there. And then Landon like basically did No Cap's bridge, but it rearranged the words, so it really like is very cohesive. Yeah. But it's crazy, it's dope, like being in the studio with artists and seeing a song from start to finish because. And also that I love like being not only in the studio but also just wherever I am with the camera because it's almost like a time capsule, like back in the future where if I want to go back to this day or this shoot or this session, I can. I'll go on my hard drive and I'll have it pulled up there.
Speaking of music, like who is Sam listening to right now? Who's heavy in your rotation right now?
100%. I mean, really, like I be listening to like a lot of the same artists I've been listening to back then. I always love tapping in with like whatever, like obviously whatever Sky's dropping, whatever Landon, No Cap. I've been listening to a lot of Young Pinch. Young Pinch's been dropping some fire. MGK and Ian both just dropped some albums, so I've been listening to that.
MGK going crazy.
Yeah. But honestly, definitely a lot of No Cap, really. Rylo Rodriguez.
Rylo's huge.
Dirk just dropped his album. He's going crazy.
A lot of Dirk going wild right now, for sure.
Yeah.
Big Dirk fans. I can't wait to see all these guys on the road and see them in the shows.
Definitely.
I think this is going to be a good summer for all of us.
Definitely.
Just as far as being at these festivals, being at these different shows. Thankfully, we're back outside, man.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah,
we're able to do this, and it's not like the restrictions are being like even more like taken back than they were. Yeah. And it's a great feeling to seem like we're getting back to a normal. I want to ask before we get out, what's like some future plans for you? You got anything big coming up? You got anything that you want people you want to let people know? Any of that coming up?
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, I got a bunch of music videos coming out. I shot like 2 with Lil Nar like a week and a half ago. Me and Landon just got back from Europe. We shot a crazy song. That's about to be his next single with the video. So I'm really excited for that one because that one's going to be a big one for sure. And then, yeah, definitely just more visuals, more content. I'm trying to go back, going crazy with the vlogs and just other cool behind-the-scenes stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I want to start putting together more shows, you know, just kind of getting more involved with everything, you know. That's really what I'm trying to do.
You already know. You need any help, you need any advice, any of that, you already know you can holler at me anytime. I'm down to help.
Hell yeah.
We got to make something happen. That'd be nice. We should do a show or something.
Yeah, I definitely, like, a big goal of mine, too, eventually is I want to do, like, a big music festival at, like, this venue in my hometown. It's called the Xfinity Center. It's, like, literally, like, I graduated on those steps, like, 3 years ago. That's where they had my graduation. It was on those steps. So I want to eventually do a whole festival there, like an annual, like, yearly festival type thing where it's, like, a bunch of artists I bring in. So that's definitely, I'm trying to do that.
Fire. That would be fun. That's legendary.
Yeah.
But that's why I'll be doing stuff in this town. It's like, man, I'm bringing this stuff right back to my town. Like,
that's why I'm trying.
If this ain't my end goal, even if it's I don't live here for the rest of my life, still bringing.
You want to keep something.
Yeah, people. Why do you open a studio in this small town? Because we don't have a studio. Like, why? This is no better place. Why would I want to go somewhere and have to compete with guys that have been in the industry for 10+ years? Like, I want to start something here where I'm from and build off of that. And it's like that's really been my main goal with Connected Sound. Just building us as not just in this small town, not just the studio. Just building a collective of working artists and just creatives in general. And I definitely started this just even from us working. Me personally, I like to work with people.
100%, yeah.
What I can't figure out, maybe you can, or maybe someone else can. My brain goes a million miles a minute, so it's a lot of times I'm just like, I got to defer some stuff to someone else. And with Connected, it's like I'm able to do that. And it's just, I love working with people and I love getting other people's perspective. Like I said, we've been working for a while and you've been giving me your perspective and I appreciate that. We're going to continue to work. We got to make something happen. I don't know what we just been basically collabing on flyers and shit like that.
We gotta do like
something. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Little tour, little shows, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like we need to put together. If it's a show, it doesn't have to be huge. Even if it's a 300 cap, 500 cap, it's like let's do it.
For the
like
people.
Out there, you figure. Out there, we're
LA
tapped in.
Crazy.
Boston, we're tapped in. PA, we got hella spots here. It's like, man, we might as well just put our own little. It's like. We know enough people to put the resources together to really make this happen. It's really just thinking it, planning it, executing it. And I believe that I can, I know you can. So I think we should definitely do something like that. Whether it's, we'll figure it out. But I feel like we need to make some shows, at least a show. You know what I'm saying? Definitely make some shows happen. We got all the resources. So it's like, why not make it happen? It's long overdue. We know enough people that could pop out and make it an event. You know what I mean? It's like no matter where it's at, we can make it happen. I think we should definitely do that. I want to say thanks again for helping me whenever I've needed to be helped. Thank you for helping Skies. Thank you for helping Connected Sound. I want to say thanks for stopping by and making time when you're in town from LA for, you know what I mean, for me, for the podcast, for the studio. Thanks again. Like I said, appreciate you coming through. This has been episode 2 of the Connected Sound podcast with Sam McGrath. Sam, I said, thank you for coming through. We'll see you guys next time. Holla at your boy.
Thank you.